The world outside your window is unrecognizable. The sky is blackened, the sun swallowed by thick, choking clouds of ash. Darkness stretches across the land, an eerie silence replacing the familiar sounds of life. The air is filled with a bitter, sulfuric smell, and the temperature has dropped drastically. Crops are dying, animals are starving, and people are struggling to breathe. This isn't the plot of a disaster movie, it's what could happen if a supervolcano erupted. The terrifying power of a supervolcano has the potential to bring life on Earth to the brink of extinction. But how could this happen? And just how likely is it? Supervolcanoes are not like regular volcanoes. They don't form the classic cone-shaped mountains that spew lava down their sides. Instead, they exist as vast underground chambers of molten rock hidden beneath the Earth's surface. The most famous example is the Yellowstone caldera in the United States, which sits beneath one of the most visited national parks in the world. But beneath its breathtaking scenery lies an unimaginable force. A supervolcanic eruption is thousands of times more powerful than a regular volcanic eruption. It doesn't just affect a small region, it has global consequences. When a supervolcano erupts, it releases an overwhelming amount of ash, gas, and molten rock. The explosion alone would be enough to devastate everything in its immediate vicinity. Entire cities would be wiped off the map within seconds. The sheer force of the blast would send ash and debris shooting high into the atmosphere, where winds would spread it across the globe. This would trigger what scientists call a volcanic winter. A volcanic winter is one of the most dangerous side effects of a supervolcano eruption. A similar event occurred in 1815, when Mount Tambora erupted, plunging the world into what became known as the year without a summer. Crops failed, temperatures dropped, and widespread famine followed. A supervolcano eruption would be far more devastating, bringing even greater disruptions to the global climate and food supply. The thick ash in the atmosphere would block sunlight for months or even years. Without sunlight, temperatures would drop significantly. This sudden cooling could lead to massive crop failures. Without food, famine would spread rapidly. Millions, if not billions, of people could starve. Even the oceans would suffer, as lower temperatures and lack of sunlight would disrupt marine ecosystems. Plants, animals, and entire food chains would collapse. The Earth would be plunged into chaos. But the damage wouldn't stop there. The gases released during a supervolcanic eruption would include large amounts of sulfur dioxide. This gas mixes with water in the atmosphere to create acid rain. Acid rain would poison lakes, rivers, and soil, making it even harder for life to recover. Even the air itself would become hazardous. Tiny ash particles would enter people's lungs, causing respiratory problems and deadly diseases. Entire populations could be wiped out simply by breathing the toxic air. The worst part is that we wouldn't be able to stop it or even predict exactly when it might happen. Despite advanced monitoring techniques, supervolcanoes remain highly unpredictable. Pressure builds deep underground over thousands of years, but the exact moment of eruption could come with little warning. Scientists can monitor supervolcanoes, but there is no known way to prevent an eruption. We might get warnings, earthquakes, gas emissions, or land swelling, but when a supervolcano decides to erupt, there is nothing humanity can do to hold it back. The best we could do is prepare for the aftermath, but survival would be incredibly difficult. Modern civilization relies on stable climates, transportation networks, and global food production. A supervolcano would break all of that, pushing humanity into an unprecedented crisis. So, how likely is a supervolcano eruption in our lifetime? The good news is that supervolcanoes erupt very rarely. The last major supervolcanic eruption happened about 74,000 years ago, when the Toba supervolcano in Indonesia erupted. Some scientists believe it nearly wiped out early humans, reducing the population to just a few thousand people. Yellowstone's last major eruption was over 600,000 years ago, and while it remains active, scientists say there's no sign that it will erupt anytime soon. However, the Earth operates on geological timescales, and what seems like a long time to us is just a blink of an eye in the planet's history. We may not see a supervolcano erupt tomorrow, but at some point in the future, it will happen again. The thought of a supervolcano wiping out humanity is terrifying, but it also reminds us how fragile our existence is. However, scientific advancements in disaster preparedness and monitoring are improving our ability to detect early warning signs. While we cannot prevent such eruptions, ongoing research and technology may help us develop strategies to mitigate their impact and increase our chances of survival. We live on a planet that is constantly changing, with forces beyond our control shaping its future. While we may not be able to stop a supervolcano, we can continue to study them, prepare for disasters, and adapt. Humanity has survived against the odds before, and while a supervolcano could bring us to the brink, it may not be the end. But if one does erupt, the world as we know it will never be the same again.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing, share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.